fluffy and plump. One such haircut. If you are satisfied with E, you can make such a cut. Yes, it is also the easiest as a straight cut. One of the cuts made. This style is easy. Haircut where you can get fractures on the ends. Straight from the back with a razor. When viewed, you can get one straight image. If you want to get a haircut like this, in the description part of my video, reaching me from my social media addresses, coming to my hall, you can get a haircut. As you can see, comb E first a comb. I compressed a comb from the bottom and I brought it to the extreme of the shaver. 0 degree with no adjustment. E and I cut it with a machine. Then again, I tilted our customer's head forward and the bottom one. I have also collected the little hair. Straight one haircut as you can see. Don't forget to like my video and subscribe to my channel. I will be with you with new videos. Hope to see you. Goodbye.
Hello friends, today you have a straight haircut. Curtain bangs, aka cartoon banks. Haircut. How to design it, I will explain it in detail. We create the first basic distinctions. We will divide the hair into 4 main sections. Our distinction to the first main section is profile separation. Profile separation 2. To the distinction we have separated from the eyebrow mark to the neck. We call it straight profile separation. Later crown separation. Crown separation from ear level to other ear. The straight separation we have separated, we call the crown distinction. When we create these distinctions, we divide the hair into 4 main sections. First part, I will apply straight haircut. Hair in the first part. I create one horizontal distinction from the nape part. And determine the size we will cut. We will apply the first basic distinction, is straight haircut. From the back part, I created a horizontal distinction and I cut the basis of the hair chi. Right now I created a straight 1E cut here. This straight cut, then gradually upwards, creating horizontal separations. Her hair is the same size in the section where I cut it straight. I will cut, that is, the hair point we cut before as a sheath. I saw it and I cut it straight with one scissor stroke. And after equalizing that part in the same way, I'm opening the other part too. As you can see the top. At the bottom, I combine it with the guide we cut and cut it to the same size. As you can see here, with sharpening cutting technique, that is, straight truss service. I'm creating a straight 1 cut. Then from behind, the long remaining part is horizontal again, one in a gradual way, by creating a distinction. I keep cutting. That is one straight line by scanning the back part backwards. Clear 1 cut by forming line. I'm doing it so my hair's on the back. I specify for free and create 1 straight cut. The right and left are the same. Scanning backwards. I'm creating a straight 1 cut. We have determined the basis of the hair, that is, the length of the hair. Now I'm going to part 2. After determining the length of the hair, I will apply a folding process and curtain cardamom on the front, that is, curtain bank haircut. I created a profile separation between the middle and 2 to create the hair. From 2 eyebrows, we created 1 distinction towards the neck, this profile distinction. And from the end of the eyebrow E, starting to the front, my B, but just motif. I reserved the section, guys. From here in the first place, right side. I go to the left side of my customer because I cut it and the chin. I'm setting E1 guide from the line. E and from here to be mobile in the front, that is, the story. From the jaw level to stop the longest, set the shortest section. Create across one distinction. In D, I created a cut at an angle of 45 degrees. Then behind the ear, E, I created one diagonal distinction. Front of the hair, the same way you see guinea. I continue from the right part, like this part. It's like 45 degrees with the hair point I cut before. I will apply angle folding process. I scan as you can see. I lifted our customer's height slightly and his head slightly up, and the sheath from the hair point I passed before. See, and at an angle of 45 degrees, I applied the cutting process because I cut the hair in half here, starting from the top of the other back, creating one horizontal distinction. I'm creating a new cross E1, as you can see. I'm combing with the lowest hair length I've cut before. With the longest part, I set my guide and create horizontal separations gradually, combing the hair forward and following the guidance we have set. I'm applying a folding process. Here, combing the hair forward, your hair again the way I combed it here. Crossway E, I'm scanning friends. So, to the cover we have determined on the front. So in a way, suitable for hair length. Did you drink the cut with a straight scissor blow again? Because I scanned the front here, their backs stay longer and E stays behind longer. Unfolding process when we leave it towards the back. So it's layered and it's layered. Both your hair is not gone. Here I cut the first eye step, then I cut the second piece. Guinea is also on the left. I created a purchase motif from the end line of the eyebrow to the peak. I'm scanning it diagonally again. And shortness, so I'm setting my guide. What size your hair will be at the level of your chin. I sharpened one direction and crossed one way. So diagonal 1 EE angle with one cut angle of 45 degrees. I will cut. Yes, I see my guide and I scanned it diagonally. I'm cutting my client's left side late, this time, but on the right side of my client. I'm cutting by finding friends. Then from the peak E, one cross to the back of the ear. I created one diagonal distinction and one from the hair point I cut before. Cross again, seeing my guide one. Cutting at an angle of 45 degrees with a scanning angle. Folding process. I'm creating. Here we ensure that the front parts are folded, friends. I saw my sword here, I cut it the same size. Cross the front parts to the back parts. This is the point I have reserved, friends. Now create horizontal separations. In a gradual way up to the neck. Combing forward, I will apply my cutting process. This process is hair folding. As you can see here, cross one scan angle. I created it, and from the nape part to the front part. Yes, the longest part. I take it as a guide and continue my cutting process. As you can see, I'm scanning guinea. I create horizontal Bs gradually. I'm combing the hair point I cut before. I see my guide. What does the guide mean? One means the hair size we cut before. I'm scanning the previous. The hair length I cut. I cut this process to the same size after seeing it. I'm applying it until I get to the section on the nape, friends. I see my guide, as you see. And I cut the sharp horse cutting technique with straight scissors service. Friends, our haircut is over. Now your hair. Thinning your hair 3. For applying straight scissor stroke on the ends. I need to thin it with some effigy scissors. I'm here with a feely scissors, the ends of the hair. Pictas technique. I soften, as you can see. So by adding some EE motion to the ends of the hair, I'm thinning. Get the hard look here. You know the hard look? We eliminate it with pictage technique. Such guinea by creating horizontal separations and scanning forward. As you can see in the hair spot I cut before, I apply a thinning process, right and left in the same way, separating into pieces, into slices. I apply a thinning process. You too, curtain bangs. Curtain banks. If you want to get a haircut in Beylik Düzü, you can come to my salon and get hair cutting service from me. About coloring and other hairdressing services, I can serve. I'm working by appointment. In the description of my video of the hall, the social media address is available. Reaching here as an appointment by reaching the social media address. Haircut coloring. On the subject of hairdressing services, you can create an appointment. Like my video, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel, dear friends. Thanks to you, my channel is growing day by day, and we become a bigger family. And our videos. If you want to be aware of my new videos, if you activate my channel's notification bell from my new videos, you can be informed. Our haircut is over. Now it's the last for you. I will show you after blow dry. Moving, as you can see, what we call layered one hair design curtain bangs, curtain banks. Moving hair design. I have presented our work to you. Take care to see you with new videos. I wish you a good day.
Hello everyone, how to design Pixie haircut for you today. It's done. I'll explain it in detail. Asterisk first, I created the basic separations, then asterisk now. How do I create the basic distinctions here? Starting from the eyebrow lines, triangle 1 in format 1, I made a distinction, high, asterisk we call the purchase. Motive, separation this. Distinction B, dividing the hair from the back into two main sections, asterisk I started hair removal here by creating a horizontal separation from the neck 1 from the bottom to determine the shortness starting hair with vertical separations, asterisk I. Start cutting at 90-degree angles, asterisk. This will be our guide. Asterisk, this shortness determines the length of your short hair after cutting the hair from the nape part after creating a horizontal separation asterisk. I cut it at 90-degree angles. Separation with vertical separations. Then I check the hair here. So is there a mistake or not? Starting from the neck. So now I continue my haircut asterisk here. As you can see, after cutting the nape part to soften the ends of the hair channel. Cutting technique. Softening the ends, and after cutting the neck join, asterisk. I'm creating a vertical distinction now. This one separation at the bottom, asterisk. I will combine it with the hair point I cut. 1 divided the levels and the hair asterisk with 90-degree angles according to the output direction I keep cutting. You see here, asterisk I. Create a sharpening cutting technique like asterisk I. Cut the hair with a sharp scarf. Technique asterisk I. Comb the hair according to the exit direction of the hair at 90 degrees asterisk and asterisk I. Cut the first tier in the bottom of the hair following the hair guide. I have determined I cut the same size after cutting hair. To the top and the top combing hair. Cut asterisk I. Continued, then the other after cutting the step I cut in the middle I created a vertical separation from the left side again. After creating this separation asterisk, I combed the hair again at a 90 degree scanning angle, and I'm scanning upwards and end the hair point I cut. I see the manual and continue my cutting here. I cut with straight scissor strokes asterisk, yes, as you can see later, asterisk 1 horizontal. I create one horizontal separation on the right and left side, and this horizontal distinction is like this, yes, with the hair guide. I cut before asterisk, I comb the hair in front of the exit and asterisk, yes, with straight scissor stroke, with sharpening cutting technique, asterisk, I continue my cutting process in the back. I see the guide, so I cut the previous one. I see your hair point guide asterisk first, a horizontal, asterisk, now I cut it according to the length of the hair. Now I continue my cutting process with vertical separations, then asterisk after cutting the point I cut at the bottom. After cutting the point I reserved upwards, asterisk I separate one level for a guinea, one level for a vertical. After separating scanning upwards, asterisk towards the exit direction of the hair point cutting technique, I keep cutting asterisk, yes. As you can see here, the purchase pattern on the front, I just didn't open the distinction, just asterisk E. The nonsense I cut before E to the two main parts I have reserved. I continue with asterisk after cutting the left side. I go to the right side, asterisk, yes, here, asterisk again, I created one distinction by creating a vertical distinction, and now asterisk upwards, II after cutting the first stage. I cut the stage by creating the vertical separation asterisk now. As you can see here from the temple, part 1, I made a distinction horizontal of horizontal asterisk after creating the distinction. The previous, from the hair point I cut, as you can see, asterisk E, your shortness, I'm checking, and I see the sheath on the hair point and E, horizontally E. I continue my cutting process, as you can see here, horizontal E, I create one cut and asterisk after this. Cut is formed asterisk, did I leave it down, as you can see? Gets one story view and guinea. With vertical separations, asterisk, I equate the top and bottom equally again, creating a vertical separation again, yes, my E control, by creating one vertical separation and E-point cutting technique, asterisk mistakes at the ends. If there are long parts, asterisk, I'm picking up and I've come to the top, I cut the bottom now. The upper part is likewise with vertical separations, asterisk E, now upwards again, in accordance with the brevity at the bottom, by cutting with dot cutting technique, asterisk that is. By cutting with point cutting technique asterisk, I continue the haircut hair here from top to bottom, asterisk. I gradually cut to the point cutting technique. Here is the length of your hair. We determined asterisk. We determined this height, that is, the hair length on the nape. This paint fits in one way. We follow our guide and cut it to the same size. Yes, as you can see downwards, I continue my direct cutting process to control asterisk. I'm using the star technique here, so my slice is above starting from the top down asterisk. I cut in one step. Yes, I started from the right to the left, always checking asterisk, cutting with downward asterisk. point cutting technique, point cut on the ends of the hair when we cut the technique, asterisk, zigzag. Zigzag E, it creates views to when you leave the hair natural E. More homogeneous, more neat, 1E so hair scissors doesn't show your trace and provides one more natural transition asterisk. Now we're at the front of the hair asterisk. Here again I created one vertical distinction asterisk E, and the distinction here is appropriately on the back E section upwards, front part a little longer E. It will happen here at an angle of 45 degrees asterisk E. The front part asterisk, I cut it gradually with the star technique. Again, from short to long greetings, if you want to get a haircut like this. E. Social media addresses in the description part of my video available U to E short story. By going to my salon as an appointment Pixie haircut, you can get the service asterisk. As you can see, we continue our haircut border. Yes, asterisk, yes. In accordance with the guide, I cut before front parts of the hair slightly too long. I'm scanning at a 90-degree 1E scanning angle again, but as a cut, I make a 45-degree cut. The front of the hair is a little longer, E to appear, asterisk. Here we will determine the separation point of your hair, E. Which direction will it divide our customer in that direction, asterisk. We will continue our folding process here. The ends of the hair I wetted again because it is thin wire. It is dry E. The hair dries very quickly, so I wet it. I continue the cutting process again, asterisk. Yes, here is our customer. E. Splitting her hair to the left side, we are also our customer passing to the right. E. We continue our cutting process at one more comfortable angle from right to left with one scan angle E. Cut at 45-degree angles to the front of the hair. E. Nice asterisk. We apply folding process by providing one pass E and I continue my cutting here with picadus technique, softening the ends of the hair. I make it a better one. Pass. Our haircut is over, so now stage 2, starting from the front of the hair in a gradual way, softening the ends of the hair with net scissors and add some depth to the hair. Here, E scissors, losing your tracks, and 4 more natural 1 transition of hair E in to make their fall more natural 1 Fowler model. For more comfortable use in daily life E, apply softening to the ends of the hair. Here, with effigy shears and canal technique island softening the end parts from back to front. As you can see here, guinea I thin the ends of the hair in pictus technique, asterisk, definitely to the bottom of the hair, asterisk, i.e. don't apply E-file scissors from the bottom. I apply the ends of the hair, starting from the neck, asterisk, again. Gradually with the channel technique, thinning your hair from the neck. If you want to get a haircut like this, you can come to my salon and get a haircut service. In Istanbul, Beylikdüzü, Chung R Hall. I'm working on an appointment now. If you want to make an appointment, asterisk, by reaching me from my social media addresses, Sue can get haircut service, asterisk. My gradual thinning process continues, asterisk, after examining the nape part. The middle part of the hill, I came to the occult area, and here is the guinea canal, and asterisk, I keep thinning the ends of the hair. Then I came to the top. Here in guinea picas technique, the ends of the hair, I thinned guinea tips when I reach the peak, asterisk, E. Thinning, I continue my process after our haircut, asterisk, E, with a nice shaping process and blow dry process E. Now our model's haircut design We're done, guys. If you want a haircut like this asterisk, I need my salon. You can get service haircut service, our model, short layered Pixie haircut.
Hello everyone, asterisk. Today, you curtain hair layered haircut. How to design haircut I will tell you in detail how to do it. I divide the hair into basic distinctions. I make a profile distinction first. Profile distinction eyebrow starting from the middle. Of the eyebrow asterisk, the straight separation we have separated towards the neck asterisk profile. Separation crown separation as the second distinction after him crown separation. One wish from ear to ear is reserved to the other ear, clear distinction asterisk we call crown. Separation here after the coronation we divide the hair into four main sections asterisk. After dividing the four mothers into sections asterisk, creating horizontal separations from the neck asterisk, now haircut, we will start our process friends asterisk I. We'll cut the foundation of the hair after creating the horizontal separation asterisk. So I will create a straight one cut asterisk I cut. The length of the hair starting from the back asterisk after cutting the first stage. This is our guide. Asterisk after creating the guide. So the basic 2 after cutting the first stage of separation. As a difference, I cut the second stage. Asterisk asterisk, I cut the first stage and second stage 1. I equate it with the hair length I cut before asterisk by following R. Guide. Our progress in hair EE. Cutting it helps asterisk. Here we cut the technique pivot point technique asterisk. Pivot point TECHNIQ UEEE creating our design. As you can see on the back asterisk with straight scissor stroke. That is, with the sharpening cutting technique. After creating, I pass the back to the left side EE your neck asterisk. I equate it with the hair length. I cut on the back and I get one guide. So guide means one asterisk, one piece of hair from the hair point we cut first EEE. So applying the rest of the piece, following our guide here, asterisk neat. Haircut EEE. We can do the process now. I'm going to the right side in the same way. Asterisk I. Make one distinction horizontal and right left side asterisk before me guide from the hair. Point I cut after receiving unequal to the same. Height, this is our basic. We have hair length asterisk without shortening the hair in any way. After cutting this length E, this time we will apply a folding process here on the right in accordance with the guide. I'm equalizing hair length. I applied one completely straight cut here asterisk. So blunt, long, blunt one appearance now. Curtain the front of the hair. I will make a hair application here. Right ear down from the back of the ear I made one right diagonal. Distinction E I cut, after separating the front frame part 1, separated the right side. Now I'm separating the left side too. The left side is the same, from the peak. E behind the ear by creating a sky distinction. I said give up after that. Now the right side, past the left side of my customer while cutting asterisk and the starting point. Of the cheekbones angle, like 45 degrees, we start our haircut asterisk after. Cutting the front part, this is our guide. In accordance with this guide, scanning angle from right to left and E with the first hair point. I cut asterisk, I cut it at 45-degree angles by equalizing. I'm scanning, as you can see here. I see my guide and cut it asterisk. This is again, because I cut it at one fixed point, starting from the right and scanning forward. A certain point of the front parts is short from the guide. It's stretching forward, so the other long parts are also long some way to guinea asterisk asterisk. I cut the left side. Now the left side, when I cut it, I go to the right asterisk border. Yes, stance is important. E. And which of our customers, I'll cut your side in the opposite direction. E when I stand. At one angle, at the angle there asterisk, I'm applying one E cut more comfortably asterisk. Now, I see my guide, as you see asterisk again. At an angle of 45 degrees asterisk, I continue my cutting process, and after cutting the first stage, I equate the other levels according to them, and asterisk I continue my cutting process here asterisk. My folding process after seeing and cutting the sparkleted on the front. Now I will fold the back parts asterisk here, in the front asterisk asterisk. I applied my animation curtain bangs. Design now with back cross separations. I'm separating V combing. Forward asterisk asterisk to my guide at the hair point. I cut appropriately equating with the front part asterisk. As you can see, I equate it with the hair length on the front. Asterisk, not the shortest part, but the longest part. Asterisk, I continue to process cutting by processing. I'm scanning guinea forward here from the front for scanning and cutting it forward asterisk because I cut it appropriately. For the flowers in the front asterisk, both the back is long and the back is not. Shortened folding process is applied, so light folding in applying both a folding process. By processing with the sections on the front, we give movement and volume to the hair because our customer's hair structure is thin because it is volume need asterisk by applying a folding process because you hear asterisk I continue to process here to the front E because I scan the right and left parts of the front it's operated. I will continue. My back folding later, hue guinea, is the same on the right after cutting the left side. Keep cutting with technique asterisk. I cut it to the front and scan it to the longest section in front, equalizing the longest paint asterisk. I see my guide, as you see, and the cutting process, and I continue. You also have this kind of one layer. Haircut curtain cardamom design. If you want to do me, social media addresses in the description. Part of my video available by reaching my hall from here. Haircut asterisk coloring and other hairdressing services. You can get service, as you can see now after cutting asterisk star. Technique with slicing technique asterisk in vertical slices I. Apply hair folding process, as you can see upwards asterisk. At the ends of the hair, forming a 90-degree angle asterisk. I'm applying a folding process. I'm scanning upwards, and in the front asterisk E. I'm getting my guide. I set it as a guide on the front. I equate one hair length with that hair length asterisk this time. Just to the front, we applied a folding process. Now we are folding the back parts. The reason why we apply slices like this hair asterisk too. The hair structure of our customer's model in accordance with the head structure, so we determine one point. We determine the guide. This guide for the whole hair we distribute it with star technique, so you can call it orange slice hair. After applying this process asterisk, completely scans upward small one by check balancing. That is, by checking asterisk, we will finish our transaction. I'm scanning, and here it's small here. Again asterisk in our upward scanning and folding process usually point cutting technique or point cutting technique asterisk we apply it. As you can see, moving wavy asterisk our curtain cardamom layered haircut design after the blow dry. I'm showing you guys asterisk. I hope you are satisfied you too. If you like my video and subscribe to my channel, I would be very pleased. See you soon.
Hello friends, to you today, Bob Haircut Desig. I will explain in detail how it is done. Our model's hair is THI, short here, starting from the width and with a light one diagonally angle. There will be one Bob haircut model that grows slightly forward. It won't be too extreme. First, we start with basic distinctions when cutting. Our first basic distinction is profile separation. Profile separation. From the beginning of the forehead, starting straight as one line, until the end of the neck, of the occipital region straight line to the end. We say profile separation, creating our first profile distinction. After creating a profile separation too, the distinction of the crown separation is also one. From ear to ear, head to the end start and end to the endo. The distinction we create, we call it crown separation. Crown separation, to separate our guinea comb. Guinea start from here. Starting from the starting point of the back, from the point it touches. As you can see, I'm starting to distinguish from this point from the exact peak point. This is already at the point where the crown separation occurs automatically, forming these distinctions the basic distinctions of hair. We divide the hair into four main sections. When you make these distinctions one on your next haircut, our model is the same. Perfectly. You can cut. 2. Our model is It will be to determine the hair length. We will separate our guide from the first nape part here. Our model's head while cutting her first hair. Very little forward. We want to give bird. From the enzyme part, I created one horizontal line. And now here we will create the guide of our hair. Our guide is important to us. Guide means the starting point of the hair. And continue after creating this cutoff point. The hair point we will. You can also specify shorter if you want, longer if you want, as your own preference. You can determine the length yourself with your customer. We are here our model is fuller. For your hair to be, I will determine one shortness according to him. And we will continue in that short. Just like that. Your hair. Reverse exits here. Here in 3 parts. Reverse exits on the neck. Based if you cut. It would be much better for you. When you cut here. Then and when you blow dry or. So when you comb the hair. Lines here your hair. In shaping. Provides great influence. These. It will be much better if you cut it with your eyes. I also took these exits into account. I will check and cut accordingly. Here while cutting, using my comb as a ruler, and I cut it at an angle of 0 degrees. First I'll finger this comb 6. Sharp horse cutting technique we call one. I will apply with technique. This angle is 0 degrees. Yeah Berta yeah. You can also cut between fingers. But if you want to cut 0 degrees without any angle, so too. You definitely need to apply comb 6 hair cutting technique. Even when you cut it with a finger. You give one angle. Straight cut here. You think you did it, but even your finger. Light has 1 millimeter one angle. You need to consider this too. Of course in wavy hair, according to the structure of the hair 100/100ths. We can't comb 6 haircuts. That's why you know straighter hair. Comb 6 according to the direction of exit of the hair. Combing. Here I cut according to the natural fall of the hair. Here using my comb like a ruler. I'm starting to conclude. I created a guide for myself from the middle part here. As you can see this guide, the left and right sides are the same. I will cut at the same level. My error rate is 0 here too, because I use my comb like a ruler. Yes too. I'm going to the stage. I'm creating one horizontal distinction in Guinea. What a thick distinction here. How thin you can cut one way, without making mistakes. When you progress gradually, hair is uniformly distributed. Either scissors nor scissors on the hair. Your rate of making mistakes is very low. Now we are giving an angle to the hair in the second level. Friends, here with my finger, I'll give you a 45-degree angle here. Horizontal 45-degree. I cut by creating an angle. To create this angle, Telugu, I scan by holding it from the bottom and, according to our guide here, we see our guide cut at the bottom. As you can see, and I touch my little finger now. The angle here is 45 degrees. It's an angle, friends. Space here. I look from here, I see my guide and our guide. A beginning of the beginning. I cut it this size after seeing it. Here's a little bit of the nape of the hairy. We are doing a folding process. This is your hair is more stingy fuller, and this. An expression we call bomb. To create it, a technical friend we applied. Combing the hair at its own angle. Looking down with my finger. I'm worth it after seeing this angle. I cut with sharp horse cutting technique. Here you are progressing gradually. I cut one from the right section. Now I will cut from the left section. Same way. I see my sword as you see from the bottom again, and I'm looking from the neck. I'm cutting, because we made an angle cut here. We'll check again later guys. After cutting, there may be slight lengths on the right and left. Repeat it. Use it as a ruler with a comb and a guide. I'm cutting. Now we are entering our third distinction, Guinea horizontal. We make a distinction. We will create one vertical distinction from the middle part a guide. I always start from the middle part, friends, haircut, because this is my guide. We distribute our guide evenly. And here we are, because we are progressing gradually. Our rate of making mistakes is very low. My finger a guide. I touch it from the bottom and cut 45 holes horizontally. After creating, with sharp horse cutting technique, I'm cutting. I'm scanning. Here I see my guide from the bottom of it. Guide is very important guys. You see with the guide here, I see the hair point I passed before like. My guide from here I see my guide at the bottom. And your hair according to this guide. Scanning by direction of fall. I see my sword and I continue with the cut. I will do this in the same way on the right side. Head of our model. Thought after setting. Always while cutting hair here. With our model, we need to be on the same plane. We need to look in the same direction. I'm scanning. I see my guide from the bottom here. As you can see, this is also while cutting hair. If you get as much hair as your finger again, your rate of making mistakes will be very low. I'm scanning after seeing my guide. And I see my guide here from that Virgo point. And after seeing our guide below, again at an angle of 45 TL, I'm cutting. Now friends 3. After cutting our territory, we have passed the occipital regio. Here after opening the ledge, we have come to the top. In the E section here, we will add a little more volume to the hair. And we will apply a folding process. Here your hair, both busy and to give a more beautiful one look. We also change our angle. Here we are applying horizontal 45 whole angles. When we get to this top, we will continue our haircut with vertical 45 whole angles. We give the head of our model forward light. Here we create one vertical distinction. From the neck again, after creating our separation, we take guide. According to this guide one, we will create a haircut. Yes friends, as you can see, at the bottom of our previous cut, to the occipital area, we applied horizontal 45-degree angles. Now after moving to the occipital area, we continue our cutting with vertical 45-degree angles. Here is our guide to the exit direction of the hair. While scanning here, hair my comb. I place it at the bottom and, without playing it the way I placed it, I comb and here we see the direction of the hair coming out. After scanning this, after seeing our guide, creating a straight 45-degree angle, we continue our cut. As you can see here, I created a 45-degree angle, OT too many floors above, and lighter below one. Arc formed. As you can see here, one light texture. So from the inside out one, we have done the folding process. Here we will cut the hair slice by slice with the technique of slicing. First slice, second slice, 3 as slice. Even for in my tongue, we will cut it on my tongue. I'm touching my comb. Here I see the stone point I cut before one. As you see my guide, we always follow our guide. And from the inside out, with the sharpening cutting technique, that is, with the straight scissors free, we continue our cut here, 90 degrees towards the exit direction of the hair one. I cut it at an angle of 45 degrees. When I quit because I cut it lightweight, we create one haircut with curved and textured. One slice from the hair point we passed before. We take parts. He is our guide. Al for the front to be slightly long. Guinea this piece. A little further back, not according to the direction of hair exit. I will cut by scanning correctly. The previous guide. Compatible. I see my guide here. I'm catching a 45 TL angle. And I continue to cut. I'm scanning the same way a guy. 45 degrees by diagonal, one distinction from the bottom. I cut the right side now. I will go to the left side. Same way a guy. This is now so 5 minutes 10:10. It's a 15-minute job, but let's cut it off by telling, huh? Ha, thank you. Writing yes. A guy. One I get it from the hair point one cut before. As the second, I touch my comb on the skin of the hair and comb. I scan, and after seeing my guide at the bottom, I see a 45-degree angle. Here is the previous hair point, as you can see here. This is our guide, our starting point. This is our end point. As you can see, this hair on this line, we combine in the same way. Thanks from below. Out the process of folding this vertex. We applied the texture. Out on the side. This diagonal by creating one distinctio. And slightly cross so diagonal one view. Cross to get one view. To achieve one hair design that grows forward. We go to the side. From this starting point, I create a diagonal one downwards. So I create a cross one distinction downwards. Horizontal a guy. Like the head of our model. Back and to the side. We give. Out here. Important factor. Hair. That's right ear. To come behind. Separating. Part from the bottom part from the top one way. Why am I doing this here? Friends, the ear bulge here. When I cut it properly one way. If I cut this ear bulge directly from the top like this. What would happen when I blow dry or when our customer uses it? One trapezoid will appear here. Could be. Because you have to adjust this angle accordingly. First from the back. Combing according to the direction of hair fall. We will determine our line, that is, we will determine our guide. Here's our coma guy. From a starting point here, we adjust according to the end point. This is how we tilt the head of our model to the side. Because when we give the angle here, We can work comfortably. Yes, as you can see here, light one downwards. Cross 1E angle formed, guys. The angle here is a 45-degree angle to the guinea, creating this angle. And so from the starting point here, by the end point, we will continue here. We use our comb like a ruler. And you get one view that stretches slightly forward here. We will do the same on the right guy. As you can see from the bottom of the hair, I lift up. I'm scanning down. A cross separation from the starting point here. I cut the hair at an angle of 45 degrees. I comb the hair according to the fall of the hair. I'm scanning down. I'm creating one arc downwards, as you can see. And I keep cutting hair here. Using my comb as a ruler, we get one view that extends slightly forward. We're at the top, guys. The guinea on the hill is the same, and bulky and plump to get one look. This time again towards the exit direction of the hair, we will get one view that stretches forward at 45 degrees. Yes. Berta, yes. Friends, to get one heart stretching forward. Here is stage 1, second stage, and third stage 3. We will cut the top part of the step. Here we cut hair by combining. I touch my hair comb to the bottom of the hair and the exit directio. Scanning at a 90-degree angle. I'm scanning upwards. And here is the finger. As you can see, my hand forming a 45-degree angle. In a 45 here, I'm creating a 90-degree angle. 90 degrees according to the place of hair. I also cut it at an angle of 45 degrees as a cut. Here we see our sword. OT the same way. We touch our comb of hair to the bottom of the hair here. E to make a flatter one E cut. And to determine the direction of output. Here is the direction of the hair. Your hair is not up and down. From the point our comb touched. Clear comb to adjust the output direction. We touch down. And we scan upwards. And in the process after this SCA, we see our guide as you see. The point we cut before. 90 degrees according to the direction of hair output 90 degrees. 45 degrees as cut. Here is one angle of 45 degrees. Upwards. I'm cutting. I'm touching my comb according to the exit direction. I create one angle of 90 degrees. And after seeing our guide, 45 degrees 1. Initiate forming angle for 5-1. I'm applying a haircut. Out here Guinea. We will create one horizontal distinction. After creating this horizontal separation, according to the direction of hair, at an angle of 45 degrees, we will get one view that stretches forward. Friends, starting from the top, I'm creating one vertical distinction a guy. Here so I cut the first stage, I'm taking the second stage. I'm leaving a section here. I take our customer's head upright. And from here, one I get my guide from the point I cut before. You always need to get the guide, guys. If you proceed according to the guide, you never make mistakes. Touching my comb. And I scan upwards. I create a 90-degree angle according to the exit direction. And here after seeing my cover, I'm creating a 45-degree angle as you can see. 90 degree to 45 degree. And I get one piece here. From the point I cut again and I give our customer's head backwards. I'm scanning here, after touching it upwards. I see my guide and at a 45-degree angle, I continue. Same guinea after cutting here. Starting with that joke girl one. We make the distinction, guys. And this month's episode is the same. Here 3 levels 1, 2, 3, here 3 levels 1 to 3, so we will cut them all into 3 sections. I'm scanning here. Here per our customer per our hand model. We touch our comb, we comb upwards. And after seeing our guide, 45, we create a degree angle, 90 degree to 45 degree. We cut. I cut the first stage and bought one piece here. This will be my guide. And I'm taking part 2. I'm scanning. I see my guide from the beginning, and I cut it. And I get one piece here. I create a 90-degree angle according to the output of the hair. And from here I see my guide and cut it. Yes, from Guinea Hill. I'm creating a vertical separation. I'm touching here. I'm scanning. You see, I saw my guide like and in accordance with my guide. I'm cutting. I'm buying one piece here. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. I'm touching, I'm scanning upwards. He's not his head like that, yeah. After adjusting the shower posture angle, I'm scanning upwards. As you can see, I saw our guide and guide. I cut it appropriately at a 45-degree angle. I'm buying one piece here too. As the last stage, again in this lower part and what we call our sweeping technique, I comb your hair in accordance with the natural direction of fall. The head of our model, I give it sideways. Starting from the nape part a guy. I'm scanning. As you can see, I have a guide here, conveniently extending slightly downwards. To get a look from short to long one view. Yes. I also apply the link. Bird. Guinea, the part we cut on the left, is the same way. We will apply it on the right side. I comb the hair according to its natural direction. We created the distinction here. The head of our customer's model. I'm setting. Taking into account the ear bulge over there. You can do it like this. If you want, you can cut it when you cut it like this. When you cut between fingers, make sure the ledge here. You have to take it into account that we cut it by touching it. Let's stop like this. I'm going to have a fight. It's over. Yes, friends, our model is like this, you see. Like the back. Layered curved forward extending. One hair desig. Bob haircut, our bob haircut design that stretches forward.
Welcome to the Depth Dive. Today, we're embarking on quite a fascinating journey, actually. We're looking into something that, many of us might just take for granted, but our sources reveal it's a true architectural marvel, the meticulous artistry behind designing a modern pixie haircut. Yeah, it's easy to think of a pixie cut as just, well, short hair, simple. But our mission today is to really uncover the incredible precision, the step-by-step thinking that transforms a simple snip into something dynamic, comfortable, and, truly chic. We've got this detailed guide that breaks down every single separation, every angle, every single cut. It shows us how all these tiny decisions build up to create this powerful, sculpted look.
Absolutely. And what's truly captivating here is the sheer amount of intentional structured thought that goes into what just looked like a straightforward short haircut. It's so much more than just removing length. It's really about strategically creating specific shapes, controlling volume exactly where you want it, and making sure there's a natural sort of effortless flow. We're going to pull back the curtain today and explore precisely how these seemingly small, intricate decisions all come together in the final, tailored aesthetic of a modern pixie. It's almost like watching an architect design a mini sculpture, but for someone's head.
Okay, let's unpack this blueprint then. Before a single strand is even cut, our guide really emphasizes the absolute necessity of meticulously dividing the hair. First up, a profile separation. Now, for those of us trying to picture this, what exactly does a profile separation look like?
Okay, yeah. Think of it like drawing a perfect center part. This separation runs from the very top of the forehead straight back all the way down to the nape of the neck. It's your initial central plumb line, really. Establishes the exact middle point of the head. And it provides a critical reference for symmetry throughout the entire cut. Without it, you're kind of building a house without laying the foundation first. Got it. Okay. The central line. Then the guide talks about a crucial horseshoe distinction. That sounds pretty specific. What does that achieve?
The horseshoe distinction is, well, pretty much what it sounds like is a U-shaped part. It starts just above the temples, curves around the crown of the head, and then connects back down towards the ears. Functionally, what it does is divide the hair into two main sections. You've got an upper section, usually longer, that'll form the top and front of the pixie. And then there's a lower, shorter section around the back and sides. This split is fundamental. It pre-segments the canvas, you see. It lets the stylist control volume and direction in each area independently.
Right, isolating areas. Exactly. So they can be sculpted with unique intent.
And finally, rounding out these foundational sections, we have this crown separation. Where does that fit in?
Okay, the crown separation. This one extends from the highest point where a comb would naturally rest on the back of the head. Essentially, it divides that upper horseshoe section even further into front and back portions. Our guide highlights its importance specifically for creating bulk and volume right at the very top of the head.
Ah, for that list.
Precisely. So if you want that coveted lift and body in your pixie, this separation is absolutely a non-negotiable step. These three initial separations, they aren't arbitrary at all. They are the architect's blueprint, meticulously dictating exactly where volume will live, how the hair will ultimately flow. It takes the guesswork right out of it.
It really does sound like a sculptural approach right from the very beginning.
Totally.
So with our blueprint firmly in place, where does the stylist make that very first cut? Our guide takes us right down to the nape of the neck. That's the foundation. It mentions establishing a straight, horizontal, sharp line using a precise scissor stroke. This sounds like setting a baseline, doesn't it? Like the first pencil mark on a design.
Absolutely, yeah. That straight, sharp line at the nape is your definitive starting point. It establishes the shortest length of the entire haircut. It gives a very clean, precise base from which all the other lengths will be built. It's the anchor of the pixie, ensuring the back is perfectly even and balanced right from the get-go.
Okay, now this next step really stood out to me in the guide. Immediately after making that sharp foundational line, the ends are softened using the point cutting technique. Literally pointing the scissor tips into the hair. Why introduce softness right after establishing such precision? What's this hard image our source says we're trying to avoid?
This is such a critical detail. It's kind of the stylist's secret weapon against what some people call helmet hair, that blunt, severe look. A straight cut, while it's precise, can create a very hard, blocky line, especially if the hair is thick. Point cutting immediately softens that definitive length. It's not really about making the hair shorter right then, but about creating texture and movement at the very ends.
Okay.
Think of the difference between like a fence post and a nicely feathered edge. This initial softening prepares the hair for a much more natural transition as the cut moves upwards. It ensures a wearable, organic flow right from that first snip instead of a heavy, severe bottom edge.
That makes perfect sense. So we've built the foundation at the nape. Now the guide moves us upwards to the occipital region, that lovely rounded back of your head. Here, it says hair is taken in sections, combed out at a 90-degree angle to its natural exit point from the head, and then cut using the nape hair as a guide. The guide also mentions a hair folding process here. Can you maybe demystify this for us?
Sure. The 90-degree angle and that folding process, they're essential for creating internal layering and building volume, particularly in the back of the head. Imagine the hair growing out from your scalp, right? If you just cut it flat against the head, it just lies flat. Pretty simple. But by lifting it out at a 90-degree angle and cutting it there, you're actually creating shorter pieces underneath the longer ones.
Ah, okay.
So when the hair falls back down, those shorter hairs act like internal scaffolding.
Yeah.
They push the longer hairs up and outward.
Right, giving it lift.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And as for the folding process, it's actually a really clever layering technique. Instead of just chopping straight across the section, you're literally folding sections of hair, holding them, and then cutting across that fold. This creates a really soft, graduated internal layer. It encourages natural volume and movement, and crucially avoids any blunt, heavy lines. It's all about building body and movement into the cut, preventing the hair from just lying flat against the head.
Okay, so we've built up the back, created that essential volume and the softer base. Now the challenge is seamlessly extending that structure around to the sides, right, at ear level, to keep that cohesive flow. Our guide instructs us to create vertical separations and to continue the cut step by step, always using the previously cut hair as a guide.
Yes, and that continuous use of a guide is absolutely paramount. It ensures that the transition from the back to the sides is perfectly seamless. It prevents any harsh lines or disconnected sections. Imagine trying to paint a mural without constantly looking back at your initial sketch, right?
Right.
The guide isn't just a static point. It's a moving reference that the stylist continually creates and refers back to. It ensures the entire cut stays balanced and precisely shaped. This consistency is just key for a professional, polished finish.
Our guide then moves to the left side of the head. It says they take a thin curtain of hair as a guide from the already cut back section, then progress with vertical slices. Is this curtain just another term for the guide you were talking about?
Precisely, yes. That thin curtain is just a more descriptive way of illustrating how the stylist takes a very precise, narrow section of the hair they've already cut in the back. This becomes the exact length and shape reference point. Then, working with vertical slices, so taking thin sections of hair vertically from the scalp, the stylist meticulously matches the new hair to that curtain guide. This ensures a perfectly integrated look, and then the same meticulous process is just applied to the right side, forming another curtain guide with vertical separations.
Okay.
It's all about building on what's already established and carrying that design principle right around the head.
All right, now we move to the crown and the top sections. This is often where the magic of a pixie really comes alive, isn't it? Where you get that dynamic, lifted look. After establishing that initial crown separation, the upper hair is combed out at a 90-degree angle according to its exit place, just like we discussed for the back. But here, our guide states they apply a folding process again, combined with something called a straight truss service with sharpening cutting technique and a dot cutting technique.
Wow, that sounds like a masterclass in texture. Can you break down those technical terms?
It does sound intense, doesn't it? This combination of techniques on the crown is absolutely where significant volume and texture are built into the pixie, creating that lift everyone wants. So we already talked about the 90-degree angle and the folding process for volume. Now, this straight truss service with sharpening cutting technique, that's a very technical term, right?
Yeah. Essentially, this refers to creating very precise, strong internal support for the hair. Often by cutting at specific angles into the strand itself. It's like building hidden scaffolding, you could say. It gives the hair its shape and bounce from within, making it naturally sit and move beautifully without loads of product.
Okay, internal structure.
Exactly. And dot cutting technique is simply another term for point cutting, which we discussed earlier. But here it's applied within these diagonal slices they're taking. This ensures the transition between the different lengths is incredibly soft and organic, rather than blunt or stepped. It's all about making the hair appear thicker, fuller, more dynamic. It allows it to be styled with movement and bounce, not just lie flat.
It sounds like a complex symphony of cuts, really. Moving to the very front now, our guide details creating a vertical separation in the middle part, lifting hair upward and cutting, making sure the middle, left, and right front sections are equalized. It also notes, interestingly, that this might initially leave long sections forming on the right and left sides.
Yes, and this highlights a really crucial aspect of professional haircutting. It's iterative. It's very rarely just one clean pass and you're done. You create an initial shape, and then you strategically go back to refine, blend, and balance everything out. The upward cutting in the front is specifically designed to create lift, and it allows for versatility and styling. Think about how you might want to wear bangs or sweep the front hair to the side. It ensures the hair doesn't just lie flat against the forehead.
Right.
And acknowledging those temporary longer sections just demonstrates a deep understanding of how the cut progresses, how all the parts will eventually integrate into a cohesive whole, creating that final, seamless, sculpted look.
Okay, so our deep dive then addresses those very long sections left on the sides from the previous step. The guide describes meticulously balancing these, creating vertical divisions, fitting them to the brevity of the lower part, and using point cutting again for a light folding process and equalizing lengths.
Oh,
Can we just clarify brevity of the lower part? What does that actually mean in practice?
that's an excellent question. Brevity of the lower part is it's a bit of a clunky phrase, isn't it? It probably comes from a very technical source document, maybe a translation. What it really means is fitting those longer side sections to the shorter length of the hair that's already been cut in the underlying sections, near the ears and nape.
Ah, blending down.
Exactly. So you're gradually blending the longer hair from the top down into the existing short hair around the ears and the nape area. The point cutting here, combined with that light folding process, is all about texturizing the ends. This makes sure the transition is super soft and integrated. It prevents any abrupt, harsh lines as the hair moves from longer on top to shorter on the sides.
And the guide mentions repeating this process, gradually climbing the hill, as it calls the sides of the head, using both horizontal and vertical divisions. Then, to prevent a harsh image in the front parts, point cutting is applied again, specifically in these hill parts, by zigzagging the ends of the hair. This sounds like the ultimate blending step.
It absolutely is. This detailed blending and refinement is just crucial for achieving that truly modern aspect of the pixie cut. It ensures a soft, integrated look where all parts of the haircut flow together harmoniously. The point cutting here isn't just about softening anymore. It's about texturizing the ends, which enhances the hair's natural movement and prevents that often dreaded helmet-like appearance that you can sometimes get with less refined shortcuts.
The helmet head, right.
Yeah. The zigzagging technique further breaks up any bluntness, allowing the hair to fall naturally and beautifully with a sense of airy movement. It's this meticulous detail that separates a good pixie from a truly exceptional one.
Okay, finally, after all the main cutting is done, our guide mentions a thinning treatment. This is applied to the hair ends with a file and scissor. Now, when our guide says file and scissor, what specific tools are we talking about here? It's not suggesting we use like a nail file, is it?
Huh. No, definitely not a nail file. Good clarification. When the guide says file and scissor, it's referring to specialized thinning shears. These have notched blades, you see. Or sometimes stylists might even use a razor comb. These tools are designed to remove bulk strategically and subtly. It's almost like feathering the ends rather than cutting a solid line like regular scissors. The guide explicitly states this thinning isn't haircutting in the traditional sense.
Right.
It's more of a softening process. Its purpose is to mitigate any remaining harsh image, any bluntness or heaviness that might still linger from the straight scissor strokes. And it helps ensure a more homogeneous transition of the layers, promoting that natural, airy flow we've been talking about.
So what does this all mean for the final look and feel?
Well, if we connect this to the bigger picture, that thinning process is the ultimate refinement. It's the final polish that really elevates the haircut. It's all about creating internal movement and strategically reducing bulk, especially if someone has thicker hair, to achieve a finish that's natural, dynamic, and importantly, comfortable. It allows the layers that have been cut to truly fall into place, promoting that sought-after fluffiness and ease of styling that makes a pixie feel effortless and wearable day to day.
Making it easy to live with.
Exactly. It's about comfort and aesthetics intertwining beautifully. It ensures the cut moves with you rather than just sitting there rigidly.
Wow. What an incredible journey through precision and artistry. From that initial profile separation, the architect's first line, as you said, all the way to the final thinning process with those specialized shears, it is crystal clear that designing a modern pixie haircut is far, far more than just, a quick short snip We've really seen how every single step, from ensuring those specific 90-degree angles to applying meticulous point cutting and folding techniques, contributes to creating a look that's short, dynamic, beautiful, and ultimately truly comfortable. Our source really emphasizes how easy such a well-constructed cut is to wash, wear, and style daily. That's a huge plus.
It really is. And this raises an important question, I think, for you, the listener. Does understanding this level of intricate detail, this hidden structure, change how you perceive what might seem like a simple haircut? It truly isn't just about the length, is it? It's about an intentional, sculpted form that offers both aesthetic appeal and profound practical comfort in daily life. It's a design that genuinely works with your hair and lifestyle.
It really does showcase the architectural thinking, doesn't it? The spatial awareness that goes into something many of us might simply take for granted when we see a great haircut walking down the street. It's like this invisible structure that creates visible magic.
Absolutely. So the next time you see a beautifully executed pixie cut, maybe take a second to consider the intricate geometry, the thoughtful stages, the deliberate techniques that went into creating it. It's a powerful testament to how even the smallest details contribute to a powerful, practical, and incredibly attractive aesthetic.
A design, our source proudly says, that offers a completely new, confident silhouette, especially perhaps for those transitioning from longer styles. It's a real statement of style and self-assurance. Thanks so much for diving deep with us today. We really hope you gained a whole new appreciation for the craft and the hidden architecture of a great haircut.
Hello. Friends, today you have a layered haircut curtain bangs. Hair design. I will explain in detail how the process is done. When starting haircut first 4, we create the basic distinction. We will divide the hair into 4 main sections. I create the first profile separation. Then I create a coronation. And E, when he starts to cut the hair from the back. In a gradual way. First, E by creating horizontal separations. Our name. We start here. We will determine the basis of the first hair and the length of the hair. Our first goal will be to determine the length of the hair. Here, I decide what size the hair is in our customer, and I get the broken hair without too short. A very short haircut in curtain cardamom and layered haircut. It's better not to have more layers in long hair. Gets one more beautiful look on hair. So curtain cardamom on very extremely short layered hair. No, it looks better on long hair. Cutting hair length. 2 is a sheath from the first hair point we cut. I'm separating the tier, creating horizontal separations here, between fingers, to the sharpening cutting technique, that is, with a straight scissor stroke. I continue the cutting process, 2 after cutting the first step. As you can see, the same way here. 1 as hair, the point I cut before. I continue the cutting process, same size. I continue my cutting process in the same direction. I cut the third stage in the same way. Friends straight one way. Hair on the back 4. The back and front are separate because I'm instantly divided into my section. I created a coronation in the sections. As you can see, ear crown separation 1 ear. The straight distinction that we are separated from the line and the other ear. We say we create a crown separation. Here E after cutting the back part. Same height again. Crown on the left side of the hair. In the distinction section, her hair guinea is in 2 stages. I continue my cutting process. While cutting the hair here, the bottom one we cut before. Part as guide. I continue to process. After cutting the left side, we go to the right side. And I cut the right side in the same way. Back 1 pinch from the black part as a guide. And we continue our same length haircut. So here is the basic. We continue our cutting process by aligning the hair length. While cutting the right and left part, the stance of our customer's head is very important. Our customer's head slightly to the left while cutting the right side. Reclining. Lean slightly to the right side while cutting the left side. So cycle, so. Lying on your side. We will continue our cutting after that. This angle is very important, guys. Now profile her hair in half. Your hair after creating the distinction. Beginning the folding process from the front, that is, the curtain. Cardamom laying process. We start from the front to start front part by creating the separation of the purchase motif, i.e. triangle 1 by. We create the distinction. Triangle separation is also eyebrow. We touch our comb from the end of the eyebrows and from the point it touched from the peak. Triangle one way. I make a distinction. When cutting right and left after creating separation, when I cut the right side, I go to my customer's left and do the cutting process. Here, as you can see, my client, I cut the left side and went to the right side. Let's say I'm doing operation over cheekbones. Short and long, you decide for yourself. But your cheekbones, if you do the cutting process from the bottom, outward moving, one view, it gets one image that is better to get. I'm on the left side of our customer. I'm on the right, I'm cutting the left side. While cutting, I'm applying a 45-degree angle according to the angle, friends. So her hair, I'm scanning towards the exit direction of the hair, and I cut it at an angle of 45 degrees. Then, I'm going to level 2, guys. After cutting the front part, now starting from the top to the back, diagonal 1 distinction. I'm creating and forward, in one way suitable for the short section on the front. Friends from the bottom. I see my guide after seeing my guide. Yes, as you can see here, I'm scanning 45 degrees. I see it at the bottom. I see the hair spot I cut before, as you can see here. And I continue the cutting process. Distinctions I slice by slice and forward wound combing forward. And scan them all to the front. And the hair point I cut before, I cut it the same size after seeing it. The back is longer when we scan forward. The front part is folded, friends. The haircut point here, I adjust it according to the shortness in the front of the hair. I'm combing the hair here and create a 45-degree angle. After that, I continue to cut. I cut the left side. Now I will cut the right side, guys. I pass my customer's left side while cutting the right side. I pass and hair cutting process by creating one diagonal. I make a diagonal distinction. A distinction as scanning angle. I'm scanning T and here, yes, hair up. I'm scanning towards the exit direction and the bottom one is cut first. I cut. I see your hair point and cut it accordingly. Now here, according to the back of your hair, I created such a diagonal 1 cross distinction on the back. Create 1 cross separation from peak to nape. I made a distinction after creating the separation, combing the hair forward, and my client cut it to the left because I cut the right side. Pass to the left side there. I'm scanning, so here is 1 cross, 1 scan process. I cut it at an angle of 45 degrees by creating. As you can see, I comb the hair to the front, but 45 degrees diagonal with 1 scan angle. Seeing the hair point I cut before from the bottom, I'm cutting. As you can see, I created a cross 1 scan angle. and I saw the hairline I had cut before. And I applied my cutting process. After applying the cutting process, her hair again this time. Starting from the front, end parts of the hair, I apply thinning process with the feel scissors, hereby hitting the hair, and I hit the hair completely and the front end of the hair. File scissors with 2-3 blows. I don't do my job of thinning too much, just 2-3. I'm applying scissors blow. Your hair is squeezing the hair because I hit the hair here. And scissors, that is, feel scissors. It provides one more natural transition with thinning processing. And more with the Burma process. A beautiful one transition without any trace on the hair. Makes it happen. Here, starting from the front of the hair to the back, I thin the hair piece by piece by creating horizontal searches. I scan the guinea forward and auger the auger process. After audition for hair, I bring the hair down to the ends with the feel scissors. Hair blocking is done on the ends of the hair, friends. The bottom of the hair and the middle part. Thinning is done after. Do not thin the middle of the hair according to the full length. Do not apply effigy scissors from the bottom of the hair in any way. You will definitely create a problem with hair. I do thinning operations on the ends of the hair. A more beautiful one here. We get the image. Our process is over. After the drying and shaping process. Inward, as you can see, I took one blow dryer with motion. Front floors are fine. Beautiful cheekbones, one design. Curtain bangs layered haircut. If you want to get a haircut like this, there are social media addresses in the description section of my video. By coming to my salon and making an appointment with me, you can get a haircut. Don't forget to like my video and subscribe to my channel. See you soon.
To you today, straight haircut. Curtain bangs hair design. How to do this, I will explain in detail. We first divide the hair of our model into 4 main sections. First main part, profile separation, scratch profile distinction, straight separation from the middle of 2 eyebrows to the neck. We say profile separation. Later crown separation from one ear to the other ear. So to the fixed line, from one ear and the other ear. We call the line we have separated as much as the crown separation. Here 4. 2 horizontal from the back after separating the main section. We make a distinction in starting from the middle part of the hair. First we will create a guide, and this will be the length of the hair. This size straight with the same system comb. First in A, I set the point from the middle point to the back. And creating a clear cut. I'm determining the length of your hair and a horizontal separation of the second guinea after cutting the first section. We have cut before by creating. I cut the length of the hair the same way by following the guide. In this technique, completely flat on the back, hair design. We are creating, after determining the length of the hair here, the front parts of the hair, we will apply a folding process to add movement. Here is the third main part, upstairs. I go upstairs in 3 main sections in a step-by-step way. In this third part, the guinea is the same. Following the hair point we had cut before, I continue my cutting process, as you can see. Piece by piece, my finger in slices, taking hair in a way. I continue to cut straight. By liking my video and subscribing to my channel, you can be informed of my new videos. Benefit from haircuts and other hairdressing services. Description of my video by reaching me from the social media addresses by appointment, Come to my salon and cut hair and other hairdressing services. You can get from the sides after cutting the back part. Start first from the left side, then from the left side. I'm equating it with the guide on the back, friends. We create a straight cut. After cutting the back straight, I set the sides the same way. And curtain cardamom on the front. I divide the hair in half to create the design. And from the end of my eyebrow, with my comb, it's on the front by measuring. I make a triangular distinction. This triangle distinction, it is a distinction we call the purchase motif. After creating this separation, starting from a right to a left, following your cheekbones, I continue the cutting process with 45-degree angles. Here I will cut the first left side. I go to the right side of my customer and my tongue is my tongue. With 45-degree angles, aligning the cheekbones, in the front, I'm creating the curtain cardamom design. As you can see after the cut, I comb the hair completely and comb it forward and that your hair is cut evenly on both sides. After seeing behind the ear by measuring diagonal front vertex and towards a diagonal back, creating a cross separation from the right side of the hair. Starting, I apply the folding process. Here, my customer. I'm going to cut the right side, so I'm going to the left side. And I make a distinction to the other heart towards the back, here in 3 pieces, towards the front of the hair, because I can't fold the front parts of the hair. I scan and scan from the front. From the hair point I have determined, I cut the hair. Here we cut your hair as the first size. Here by taking the size I'll lie as an example, that is as a size guide. From the longest point of the hair, I'm scanning forward as you can see. After scanning, you see the hair point at the bottom. I guide that length and cut it. Here for combing the hair forward. The length of the back hair is not shortened, and there is no shortening on the sides. Because the longest point of the hair on the sides, I'm folding by taking a sign. Here is the structure of the hair, the length of the hair, Also because I got the guide to length, folding process is a light folding process. And your hair doesn't get shorter. Here I scan my scan forward again. Second piece. So here's because I cut the hair in half, scanning the right part and the left part in the same way, cutting in the same technique. And this cut. After doing it, I thin the ends of the hair a little. With file scissors, softening the ends of the hair. Here, because we usually cut it according to EE angles. Also a clear cut, sharp horse cutting technique because we cut straight scissors blow. Maybe hard looking at the ends. So we split the hair into the guinea piecemeal. With a feel scissors and pictus technique, I ensure their transitions. As you can see, we provide smoother transitions to the ends. This is the hard look of the tip of the hair. By equalizing, it helps you get a better image. If you want to have a curtain bangs haircut design, from my social media addresses in the description section of my video, reaching me, coming to my hall, you can get haircut service. Don't forget to like my video and subscribe to my channel. As you can see, the front is moving, the back is straight. We are with you with an E hair design.
Hello friends, welcome to my channel. To you today, light haircut. I will explain in detail how to do this. We make basic distinctions when cutting hair. First basic distinction, profile distinction. Profile separation. E from the middle of two eyebrows, straight separation, where we are separated to the neck. We say profile separation. 2. Separation crown separation. Crown separation is also straight from one ear to the other ear. 1. The distinction we have separated as a line is called the crown separation. With these two distinctions, we divide the hair into 4 main sections. Now we divide our hair into 4 main sections. From the back part, we will determine the length of the hair by creating one horizontal distinction. So here to determine what size the hair is. First, we will create one horizontal distinction and form the basis of the hair. So we will cut your hair length. Here is the first from the middle part from the back E, after cutting the short part. A other parts too, creating horizontal separation in one way. Whether in 4 pieces or 3 pieces. We cut it in one-step way. This is gradual. More homogeneous distribution of hair by cutting with separations. We make the hair scatter together, friends. I'm cutting the length of the hair here, and the ends of the hair in the next process. With light folding process, in the front of the hair. By applying the folding process E, to get a beautiful one look. Good luck, friends. Yes, here, because our model has thin hair. Very dense flaws. Make the ends of the hair look thin. Light hair to prevent. Suitable for hair structure. The front parts of the hair by applying the folding process. Giving movement to the back. To be fuller. Applying straight one cut. We will create one beautiful model of our hair now. If you want to have one haircut like this. Social in the description part of my video. Media address is available. We can reach here and come to my hall and meet. Hello, you can get haircut service from me. Here from the end of the eyebrows. E, we will apply folding process to the front part. Here from the end of the eyebrow to the front part. They were creating a purchase motif distinction. We will apply a folding process to the front of the hair. When applying the folding process, let's say we separate the hair from the middle part, or what part you want to separate, to create one distinction suitable for the outlet place of hair. Yes. First, we ask our customer about the distinction of hair. Which one? You make a distinction in the direction according to him. We apply folding process because he separated his hair from the middle part of our model. We start our process by eliminating E and separating, cutting hair here. First, we will cut the right side. Then we cut the left side while cutting the right side. Now we go to the end of our customer, passing to our customer's right while cutting the left side. So we work more comfortably and angle better one way. For us to offer, and which of our customers we cut forward to the opposite side, we stop and cut there. Here after cutting the front parts. Here. Then I split the hair in half. Profile separation and sleeping on the front. We comb the hair. And later, your hair all forward. Here we scan and take the end parts. Your hair here moves the front parts, but at the back, prevents very dense flaws. And here to the front, because we are folding, and no way there is one knee section long in the hair, and the mistake, see, to be blocking. hereby creating celestial distinctions, and combing the hair towards the front. So now we continue our haircutting process. Now, as you can see here, the right side of our customer. I cut the right part, on the left side of the client, 40 and 45-degree angles. And we continue our haircut. Now here is our customer, E, when we create folding. He doesn't want the back part to shorten. We are also our customer, with slight movements from the front for folding process to ensure hair. Our customer's hair, fixed design here on the front. By applying one technique we call line, moving the front parts, make the back parts look longer. And we apply one such study to prevent it from shortening. See you soon. Yes, this work is on the back. E a little more, E V-shaped. E very nice one look. In denser bushy hair now because the hair is thin. And our customer who uses the hair inwards, more folded inwards of the front parts. When we do the forming process, makes it get one more beautiful look. Don't forget to like my video and subscribe to my channel. See you, friends.
Welcome, curious minds, to the deep dive. Today we're getting into something that looks, well, maybe simple from afar, but is actually packed with craft. We're talking about mastering the short layered haircut. Our source is this really great video tutorial that meticulously breaks down every single move. So our mission today, it's not just listing steps. We want to really unpack the actions, reveal the artistry behind it, and maybe decode some of that technical language, because it's way more than just like grabbing scissors.
Yeah.
Right? So let's get into it. What actually goes into making a short layered haircut look so structured, yet somehow effortless?
It's fascinating, isn't it? Because that effortless look, it's completely built on precision. We're talking specific angles, really exact parts, and this whole sequence of layering techniques that are just, well, fundamental to getting the look right. It's definitely more than cutting. It's almost like engineering a style, crafting the shape where every single snip counts towards the final movement.
Right, like engineering. And I guess like any big project, you got to start with the foundations, even before you cut anything. The tutorial kicks things off by parting the hair down the middle. And it stresses this isn't just any part, it's the foundational part.
The main axis, basically.
Exactly. Then comes the profile part. For this, they make a horizontal section, starting from the crown, the high point, all the way down to the nape.
The nape being the very bottom of the hairline at the back.
Right, the back of the neck. So you have that middle part, then this horizontal one, that's the blueprint. They say it's got to be spot on.
And that precision right at the beginning, is it really that critical? Like, can't you adjust a bit later?
Well, that's the thing. The source implies these parts are like architectural drawings.
Okay.
If you mess up here, it echoes through the whole cut.
Yep.
It makes fixing things way harder down the line.
Yeah, that makes sense. So that perfectly straight part they mentioned isn't just stylistic, it's structurally necessary.
Absolutely. It sets the whole geometry, the balance, before any hair is even cut. It's like the stylist's compass for the whole thing.
Okay, so the blueprint's down. What's next? Moving from drawings to, like, the first actual piece.
Exactly. Building the first guide section. This is what sets the length for everything that follows. So after that profile part at the nape, they take another horizontal section, isolating just that bit of hair.
Yeah.
And then starting right in the center of that section, they make a perfectly straight cut. This cut is everything. It immediately becomes the first guide section, our first layer, essentially.
Right.
And this is where you really see the importance of having a guide. It becomes the benchmark, the reference point for all the length across the back.
So how does that work exactly? How does this one little cut manage to guide the whole rest of the haircut?
Well, the guide section is basically the first piece cut to length, right?
Uh-huh.
And then the stylist just keeps going back to it, measuring each new section against that first one.
Ah, okay. So it ensures everything flows together, stays consistent, no random short or long bits.
Precisely. It guarantees that continuity, stops it looking choppy or, disconnected.
Which is obviously crucial. So how does that play out as they move up the back of the head?
It's pretty methodical. For the second guide section, they just continue the process, literally using that first cut section as the guide to follow.
Okay, makes sense.
The technique they show is quite specific. Start in the middle, cut that second section straight, matching the guide, and then work outwards, left then right. And the tutorial specifically mentions using the finger over finger technique and sharp scissor strokes. So it's a very controlled way of holding and cutting.
Finger over finger. Can you maybe explain that a bit more? Like, what does that actually do?
Well, imagine your fingers acting like a ruler. Yeah.
Okay.
Holding the hair taut, flat, at the exact same angle as the guide section underneath. It keeps the tension really consistent.
Ah, so it stops the hair shifting around while you cut, even though hair naturally wants to move.
Exactly. It's how you ensure each new section perfectly matches the length of the one before it, keeping that layer consistent. It's like a physical trick for measuring on something that isn't static.
Got it. A way to control the uncontrollable, sort of.
Yeah, kinda. And this whole process, sectioning horizontally, starting in the middle, following the guide, finger over finger, it gets repeated. For the third horizontal part, same deal. And then the final section at the back. Always starting central, always watching that guide.
It sounds almost ritualistic. That repetition is key for uniformity across the whole back.
It really is. I mean, watching it, you realize how much precision goes in. I used to think haircuts were just, a bit of snipping here and there.
Yeah, definitely more to it than that.
So, okay, the back is meticulously layered and shaped. Now we move to the front. Right, the parts that frame the face.
Which is often what people notice first.
Totally. So how does the guide system work for the front? Is it the same?
A little different here. The tutorial says they use the starting points of the eyebrows at nose level as the reference. This helps them create a vertical part, which forms a sort of triangular shape right at the front hairline.
A triangle. Interesting. So that triangle is the guide for the face framing.
Yeah, that specific section sets the length and angle for the sides.
And how do they cut it? The video mentions something about angles.
Right, so when cutting the right side of the face, the stylist actually moves over to the client's left side.
Oh, okay, to get a better view.
Exactly. From there, they can clearly see that guide point in the triangular section. They comb the hair down and cut the layers using a 35-degree angle, working from top to bottom.
45 degrees. Why that specific angle?
Well, that 45-degree angle is what creates softness. It makes the layers cascade or blend into each other, rather than forming a hard, blunt line. It builds that movement right around the face.
Ah, so it's deliberately chosen for that softer blended effect? Makes sense.
Precisely. And then they just mirror the process for the other side, move to the client's right to cut the left side, maintaining that same 45-degree angle.
And does the angling stop there, or?
No, there's a bit more. They also apply layering from the apex.
The highest point on the head.
Yeah, the top curve. From the apex down towards the ear level and blending towards the back, they also use that 45-degree angle referencing that front section.
Wow. Okay. So it's all interconnected, flowing from that initial front guide.
It really is. It ensures the front and sides blend seamlessly into the work they did on the back. And that client positioning, moving around them, it's not just for comfort.
Right. You said it helps maintain the angle and perspective.
Yeah, ensures accuracy. Makes you wonder, like, what if they used a 90-degree angle there?
Ooh, yeah. You'd get something much more dramatic, maybe disconnected looking. Less soft, for sure.
Definitely less soft. Probably quite severe.
Okay, so back foundation, check. Face frame, check. Now we're on to what the source calls the art of the crown. Sounds important.
It sounds like the most complex part, judging by the description.
It seems like it. The stylist starts by making a big U-shaped part around the crown area. And this basically divides the hair into two main zones. A top section inside the U and the bottom section outside it.
A major division, then. Probably for managing bulk and flow up there.
That sounds right. So first, they tackle layering the bottom section, the part outside the U. They create vertical parts starting from the left side. Then the hair is combed out following its natural growth direction. But here's a key difference. It's held at a 90-degree angle from the head.
90 degrees. Okay, so straight out from the scalp.
Exactly, straight out.
And that angle, what's the purpose of that specific lift?
Well, that 90-degree lift is what builds internal volume. It creates, hidden layers underneath that give the hair body and movement from within. It stops it looking flat.
So that's how they get that movable quality they keep mentioning. It's not just the visible layers.
Right, it's the internal structure. And they use the length we cut on the bottom section as my guide. So again, building on previous work.
Always referencing back.
Always. And they mention using the point cutting technique here to match the guide.
Point cutting. It's snipping into the ends, right? Not cutting straight across.
Yeah, exactly. It softens the edge, helps it blend better, gives it texture.
So it avoids any hard lines inside the layers.
Seems like it. And this whole process vertical part, comb out at 90 degrees, use the guide, point cut is repeated really carefully, strand by strand, section by section, moving left to right around that lower crown area.
That 90-degree angle is so fundamental for volume. I remember when I was learning, getting that consistent lift straight out from the head. It looks simple, but it's kind of tricky to do perfectly section after section. That's where the practice really shows.
I bet. Okay, so that's the bottom section of the crown layered for volume. What about the top section, inside the U?
This sounds even more detailed.
It is. The tutorial says the middle and top section, the crown itself, is cut in 3 main sections.
3 sections just for the top.
Wow. After dividing it vertically down the middle first, so 3 parts to handle. For the middle one of those 3, they start from the back, again using the length underneath as the guide. Comb the hair up at that 90-degree angle again, and use point cutting on the ends. But here they mention cutting it in a first and second level.
First and second level, what does that mean?
It seems like they address the back part, that middle section first, maybe for internal structure, and then refine the front part of the same section to make sure it blends smoothly whether the hair falls forward or back.
Ah, like sculpting it in 2 passes almost.
Yeah.
Very precise.
Very. Then for the second section on the left side, they comb it upward, 90 degrees again, presumably, and use point cutting. And finally, the right side. This is also cut in 2 levels. They use the first cutting point from the middle section as the guide for the first level.
Okay, connecting it all.
Yeah. Then they comb the hair upward at 90 degrees for the second level and make the final point cuts.
The real genius there seems to be how it's showcasing the result of all that work.
The grand reveal.
Pretty much. And the result. A layered, movable, short hair design has emerged.
You know, looking back at the whole process, it really puts that final blow dry into perspective.
Absolutely. It's not just drying the hair. It's the moment where all that hidden skill, every single precise cut and angle, becomes visible. It shows why the hair moves the way it does.
It reveals the architecture underneath.
Perfectly put. It turns the static cut into something dynamic and alive. Without that final styling touch, a lot of the artistry would just stay hidden.
So reflecting on this whole journey, we've gone from those foundational parts, setting guides, meticulous angles, point cutting. It reveals just how much goes into what looks like an effortless style.
It's definitely not effortless to create.
No. It shows that this kind of result isn't just about having good hair. It's a testament to incredible skill, foresight, precision. Just like in any complex craft, really.
Which brings up a bigger point, doesn't it? Beyond just this haircut, what does this deep dive show us about craft itself?
How so?
Well, it shows how these tiny, almost invisible details, the exact angle, the precise part, the type of cut, when they're executed flawlessly, they all add up. They coalesce into something singular, dynamic, and beautiful.
That's a great way to put it. It's the sum of all those tiny, perfect steps.
Exactly. It's about that power of deliberate, skilled execution making the difference, whether it's hairstyling or, building a bridge.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for joining us on this very detailed deep dive into the short layered cut. Hopefully next time you see a really great short haircut out there, you'll have a new appreciation for the hidden details, the planning, and the sheer precision that likely went into it. Until next time, keep looking closely at the crafts around you. You might just be amazed at the artistry you uncover.
Straight haircut for you today, asterisk, and light layered. Hair design, how to do it. I will explain it in detail. 1. First, we create a profile separation from the beginning of the forehead to the neck, asterisk E. Straight horizontal is one distinction, asterisk straight. One distinction up to this nape point, from the peak, after that separation, E. We make a triangular distinction, as you can see, asterisk our comb, E, triangle. Yes, we put it from the beginning of the forehead and your back triangle 1 from the point it touches E. I'm creating a purchase modifier, distinction, here eyes. Now this distinction, I will apply it for the folding process on the front of the hair, 2. The front section I'm collecting here, and we will determine the length of the hair in the rest, asterisk, here. We divide the hair into 2 main sections, asterisk, as you can see here, asterisk, I show my point and create a horizontal separation from the back. This will be the basic distinction of our E. Haircut friends are here, so we will form the basis of the hair E. We will determine the length of the hair here. We created a horizontal distinction. We divided the hair into sections with two meanings. That is, three meanings. Asterisk, 2 on the back, 1 on the front. After creating the separation, yes, we are starting our haircut here. We will determine the length of the hair. Asterisk, I will create one E distinction from the middle part. Vertical E. I will create one distinction and start my haircut from there. Asterisk, I just start in the middle. Asterisk. As you can see, I created a vertical distinction here. Will be our guide. In accordance with this guide from the hair length, I have determined asterisk, so I will cut the other parts the same way. Yes, here, as you can see, our haircut in the middle, after creating the right and left, are the same. Asterisk, I determine the same size straight. One way we do it by combing, backwards cutting, and seeing my guide E. I'm moving here. The guide is always for us. Progressive asterisk. It will prevent us from cutting the hair crooked. Asterisk E. We progressed gradually. 1 asterisk E. Operation. Guide. Always follow the guide. In the guide more useful for us. One system will be so. If you go according to the guide, you will useful one. There will be a haircut. Asterisk 2. Discuss. Yes. Asterisk 2 after creating horizontal separation. Asterisk starting from the middle part. 1. The hair point we cut before will be our guide. Asterisk continuing with the same guide, we determine the hair length here. We saw our guide at the bottom. Asterisk with our comb, and between fingers. Asterisk with sharp horse cutting technique. That is, with straight scissor stroke, we get one flat image. I cut the middle part here. Asterisk, as you can see from the middle my cut guide I equate with the pieces I bought from the left side. Asterisk here is a straight one cut by combing the hair backwards. I'm creating then asterisk after cutting the left side. The right side is also asterisk. I cut it straight one way. I'm scanning backwards now. In the middle part. Asterisk I continue with the guide we have created. Asterisk backwards. Again in the same way I had also separated the third level and combing the hair backwards. Asterisk 1 with the hair guide I cut before. Asterisk did I cut it by continuing in the same way. I continue after this process. We cut the hair length. Asterisk so we created our foundation. Clean it. After creating our foundation we will start with hair folding. Asterisk here. Her hair is divided into slices. Slices now separating as slices. We will start our folding process. Yes, we start this process after creating the foundation. So after you remember the length of your hair one more without shortening the hair, how to fold we will show asterisk as you can see here. I'm starting from the middle part of the guinea. Asterisk, and as you can see from the bottom. Asterisk 1 I created one vertical piece and comb the hair according to the direction of hair exit. No. After scanning upwards. Asterisk you see the shortest point at the bottom. Asterisk he is our guide. In accordance with this guide, I'm creating a folding process. Asterisk I'm combing the hair towards the exit direction. This is our best. Asterisk we have a long point, the guide of the hair, that is the length of the hair. Without cutting that length, I cut the other long sections and equalize them together. Asterisk downstairs. One same way as a guide. I'm scanning upwards at a 90-degree angle. towards the exit direction of the hair and seeing the cover on the bottom. I cut by applying point cutting technique asterisk, as you can see. I cut 2 first steps, then I bought 1 piece again from the next episode asterisk, and your hair is growing. And I cut it in accordance with its structure and comb the hair asterisk. I see the level at the bottom, and I continue my cutting in this lower part seeing your hair length slice. My hair, I'm applying a folding process, always 1 asterisk. I'm 1 hairless from the previous part. Friends, combing the hair asterisk, I see it at the bottom, and 1. I cut it, first seeing the hair point and the sword. I took hair. I cut it, then equalize it with the guide at the bottom. Yes, as you can see at the bottom, I saw the guide, so the guide asterisk after. Seeing hair length, I combed the hair upwards, and I cut it in accordance with the hair length. As you can see, I saw your hair length. I saw the guide, and I cut it with the dot cutting technique. When we cut with point cutting technique, hair, flyworms. In triangle form, asterisk sections are formed, which provides 1 more natural transition to the hair this way now. I comb the hair, as you can see, after seeing our hair on the bottom asterisk. I'm cutting to the point cutting technique here, as you can see in zigzag form asterisk. I cut, and sections are formed. Cut. When I cut it with technique, this is more of your layers in the haircut asterisk. In 1 way intertwined divides, 1 more homogeneous distribution. Yes, as you can see at the bottom with the point cutting technique, after seeing the guide neck at the bottomy now, I cut it by syncing with other sections. Here we created the folding section in haircut asterisk now. The section for folding the front parts of the hair asterisk, I will create the part that I have separated from the middle part of the hair asterisk. As you can see, I'm creating 1 horizontal distinction again, and 1 from the hair point. I cut before I'm getting a guide, and in the same way as this guide scanning upwards. Then I combine the guide and we continue my folding process. Asterisk. We see our guide, as you see, and I cut with the dot cutting technique, asterisk 1. I create a diagonal 1 distinction in the next section of first. I'm getting a guide from the hair point I cut, and as you can see here, triangle 1 form appears burden, asterisk. I'm scanning upwards again, and after seeing our cover we continue the cutting process, asterisk, and again in the same way. After cutting the left side in the same way on the right side, I create a diagonal 1 distinction, and I scan upwards. I see my guide, and I keep cutting asterisk after cutting this front part. Scanning upwards 1 check balance, and now I apply asterisk. Is the hair length on the top equal to each other? Now all over again, combing all the hair upwards. Hair length. Is there a mistake in the hair spots we cut? I'm checking asterisk. I apply the point cutting technique hair here, both straight. 1. Cut. Created and created, both folding process, and after the folding process occurs, asterisk, I'll make movement asterisk. I will do this folding process again, and now in which direction our model has divided, determine an asterisk. I will create 1 folding operation according to the fall. Here, asterisk, I determine the peak of the hair, and from here I'm creating a triangle. 1 form here. Here is the hair point at the end of the eyebrow. I determine our buying motivations here. 1 distinction we form in triangle form end of eyebrows, asterisk, from the point where the comb touches. So we form triangle 1. Here I cut the rest of the hair back, and here I then combing the 3 parts of the hair by combing the upward line, asterisk, and I cut, and when I scan backwards 3, we give movement to light hair in parts, as you can see. You can use both straight moving 1 hair design if you want to get a haircut like this. Fold and straight haircut if you want to design asterisk by reaching me from my social media addresses. My social media addresses available in the description section of my video. By reaching my haul from here, you can get haircut service asterisk. Don't forget to like my video and subscribe to my channel. Friends, I will be with you with new videos asterisk. Our straight, lightweight, layered haircut design with you, as you can see. Like my video and subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to be. I wish you a good day. Take care of yourself asterisk. See you soon. See you soonello every you today Pixie. How to do bob haircut in detail will tell. I divided the hair into 2 main sections. Upper stage and I separated 2 pieces as the lower stage, and from the nape part so your hair is short and starting to cut it with vertical separations to be folded as you can see, starting from the right, moving to the left, standing in the midly, and again from the left side towards the middle, and continue my cutting process with vertical separations, thicker, herium, applying B cutting accordance with the E thickness of my finger. I touch your scalp to the bottom, so I touch my finger on the skin of the hair. Andy continued to process finger thick cuts after making his first short like that. 2. I'm creating the distinction. I'm creating horizontal separations. Hooray, so I created a horizontal distinction, and then with vertical separation. See, I continue my haircut at 45 degrees, starting from the right. I'm coming to the middle. This timey coming from the left side. I continue, so from the right to the middle, from left to middle. So always hairnite in the middle as shortnessing. Applying a 45-degree angle here. 3. Now, by creating upright distinctions. Distinction also, I divided it again. I created 1 diagonal distinction and comb the hair according to the exit place, and I cut it at an angle of 45 liras to Guinea. Created a vertical separation, and I see my guide at the bottom. I always follow my guidesso, the hair on the bottom. After seeing the hair point, I cudium, adjusting the angle so it's 45 degrees, creating an angle. I definitely say when I create a 45 lira angle. The back of the hair is short, so there are longer sections from the top. Directly E. If I cut it according to the short hair, how can I not create a 45 lira angle? It happens this time. It's short on the bottom and the short on the top are the same size. It happens, and it will be short. Please, when I make an angle of 45 steel, I see the short section at the bottom. I cut 45 steel at an angle's top stays longer. The bottom is still short compared to him. I keep going like this and elong sections on the right and left sides on the back E with short partas. You can see forming the diagonal separation, again 45 degrees. Short from the front E, short from the back, one extending forward die. Create the viewers, you can see so. The front is long, and the back is short and folded as you can see. From the top to the ear level so, I created a coronation I make. One distinction from one ear to the other, or normally, everyone, so 10,000. Crown separation, this EA after, creating a crown separation, I create a vertical separation of the rest of the backend. This distinction is vertical search, first from behind as you can see. With the hair length, I cut beforium, putting it together, but this hair size is also the bottom one from the bottom up 451 cut from the inside out at a degree angle lie, cut with point I see the hair spot I cut beforehand, cut from the inside out these. Upper sides are longer than the lower sides are shorter and the volume makes it bulky. So short hair pushing, long hirand one fuller image occurs Heraguania. A distinction from the peak of the harium creating gin, one guinea from the hair point. I cut before this time. I lift the hair up 90 degrees but, again, at the hair point, I cut before. One, I see my guide, and so, I cut it from short to long, at an angle of 45 degrees after, cutting in the middle left side, is crossed again. I cut it at an angle of 45 degrees sure. The front is longer, and the back is shorter than Hyman fold one image. Yugatas, you can see herium adjusting with E short sections on the back eye. Made a cross distinction to the front, starting with the shortest section at the back toe, the front at an angle of 45 degrees. I make your hair grow forward in my cutting process. I continue with the sharpening, cutting techniqueso with a straight scissor stroke. I continue escaning backwards. The reason I scan backwards is in the backy scan the back for scanning and short sections ISO E, because I cut it in accordance with my cover from short to longend E. Inside I created one angle front is longer and the back is shorter, one image A hair design that you can easily use. This summerth weakest is short. The front is long. If you want to get a haircut like this, you can reach me on social media. Addresses me in the description section of my video. So by reaching my living room. From here I work by appointment as an appointmentee haircutting service. By coming to my salon, by making an appointmentee long service signed other hairdressing services zoo can get servicized hairy. I use pivot point technique as a haircut, literally pivot point to hairy one guide for us by applying this Gwitty Pixie bob haircut, starting from the nape part with the E-file, scissors gradual light E-hard scissor blowsy to soften the ends to get its hardness in, thinning the transition of hair here too. It's softer ease here with E-elephant scissor softening the ends of the hair, starting as if the cut starts again from the neck. I thin the ends slightly with E-file scissors. I don't apply it to the bottom of the hair, only to the ends and vertical from there. By doing your hair, we get one image that thins the nape parts. Maria's, you can see her at the ends of the hair, not the bottoms of the hair also, because we did the softening process. Hair provides one more homogeneous transition and gets a soft one look. Of course, you also have every hair, so there is no thinning process. Not thinner hair, but thicker Andy. In thick hair you can apply step by step up the ends of the hair. I keep thinning if you want to watch my other videos. To me, video. My channel has a videos section from there. I have many categories of videos from here. You can also watch my videos by hair grows as you can see. I'm coming to the long section, and between fingers I take and thin the ends of the hair first. I eliminate one and I lift it opened, thinning the ends of the hair. Your likes very important to us. Our channel is developing day by day and to reach large audiences. I would be very pleased if you definitely like my video, because if you like my video to other friends and other people too, so I recommend this video reaches many people when it reaches the technique I apply. So friends who want to learn him learning, and ladies looking for hairstylisty my video want to get service from Methis, or that way. If you like my video and subscribe to my channel, would be very pleased. Likes and comments are also important, so if you have questions in the comment part of my videos, so you can leave the comment section as answer, as I know the answery questions on your Mindusi continues my thinning process. Gradually, Lycath, last front part, has Araveth, front part 2. You don't use much, do you? I apply a slight thinning process and shaping process. We will pass after finishing the process from here. Also, with one nice blow-dry process, finished our hair design. We will be friends. Like my videos and subscribe to my channel. And forget to be right now. Pretty one, way reached the audience. Thanks to your audience is growing every day. New friends join our channel and our designs learned and seen them. Adding some movement to the front of the hair, her to the end part. No little I did one tiny folding the front of the hair. Finalito make your fall beautiful. Here are the hair cutting techniques I have learned for you. When my tongue turns to you, so I'm trying to explain as much as I can. Hope you guys are satisfied here. I comb back slightly and your hair, so I'm checking if there is a mistaken customer's ear backward say design that he can use comfortably when he throws his back to bay. Give a little touche. Our hall is in Istanbul, Beylikdüzü, working on an appointment to come to our hall. Description part of my video's social media addresses are available by reaching hair coming to my hall haircut, coloring, and other hairdressing services. You can also get services. You can see our model has a short story front one design. Hope you like it. See you for now. Take good care of yourself.
Hello to you today. How to make Pixie haircut design? I will explain it in detail. I create the basic distinctions, as the first distinction ways separates the hair cutie, determines exactly clearly of the basic distinctions. Well, it's very important not first. I create E-profile distinction profile. Distinction forehead from the beginning straight separation where we are separated to the occipital area, say. Profile separation. The second distinction is Thednully distinction, is also from the top point ouching. The tip of our comb from the point where his back touches starting, saw from the temple regions and according to other temple from one temple to another. U-shaped distinction we have separated. Can also say E-hair. After creating this distinction we have divided into two main sections, C bottom and top first. Starting from the bottom of E-way, we'll start the cutting process at the bottom. I will create a horizontal separation from the neck. E neither too thick nor too thin. E in linea after creating a horizontal separation E. We are starting our hair cutie from the anxy part between fingers as much as our finger can talk a touch. Your hair neck vey start cutting at an angle of 45 degrees E. First the little E on the nape after, cleaning small hair with a shaver neck cross way diagonal E from the nape. Part by creating distinction C no. I start the cutting process. These 3 points I cut will be a guide for me. By following this guide, your higher going up step by step. I keep cutting Berta. Yes, I touch my finger on the skin of the hair and E-finger E high T. I cut it down at an angle of 45 degrees. The second stage after cutting, I'm creating a horizontal distinction in Guinea following the hair point I had cut before E, and I cut in the same planiso. I cut it the same size E here again. E now starting from the right 45-degree cross separations with one beat creating E noothing is happening as I see. The hair spot I cut before it's suitable for the E part therein. The same E step by step in plan starting right to left. Eno. I am applying my cutting process. Got married. Didn't get it. It stayed on my head. From my head, I didn't. Want it all by myself? Yes, no. After getting to the middle part T, an hour, from right to left T, I cut I. Stop after I get to the middle and D. Same way left, right, left side. That is, everyone is in the middle 80 unity 45 degrees, from the right, from the left side again, in a middle way of 45 degrees E. I'm shortening it to come because the angle on the right, and the angle on the left, because the hair. Direction is different E. I'm cutting the right side until the middle part, then I quittin'. I start Guinea from the left side E Guinea at a general 45-degree angle thentet part toe. Cut the Guinea to the middle in the same way I'm going. To the third level. Friends. In the third stage. The hair point that I cut before E, I'm cutting E's. I will start cutting Berta, yes and more click, from a point. IQT will change the finger angle. I set my finger to 45 degrees then, waiting again so, E 45 degrees to come E. I take the hair point I cut before and the hour. Hair E at a 45-degree angling cutting here friends occipital 4. Coming to the top of the region toe the occipital area so, I'm applying a short cut. Then, when I come to the top, in the last two parts so, the length of the hair is a little longer E for applying a 45-degree angle E. It doesn't happen in the same shortness. It goes from short to long so you didn't have a drug thingies. Exactly like fat well, always have to pay attention to it. E as you can see, the higher parts became longer. I'm setting the angle Horacio because I cut it at 45-degree angles that he automatically came towards the top until it comes. E hair gets a longer look because the neck is short. The upper comb is a layered cutchered hair, a longer look at the top between people. There is nothing left between us. Ignorant mercy nothing left, became like Afghanis. So Islam neck part up to ear level eye. Cut the same way peak point with Donner Nithiso. What is this cruelties? Now when my son grows up can't, he travel with his friends so. He can't do anything so. What are we going to do now that boy as you can see, I came from the right to the left. Same from the left. I'm moving to the right at 45-degree angles he's cut after doing it. The sides remained on the back. You saw this from the top of the sides, taking a subtle distinction from the hair point on the back eye. Take the guide and the guidey a thin curtain at the topium, cutting the mirror size starting from the front after. Cutting this same length, creating diagonal divisions again the curtain at the top of these distinctions in shape, sword. I took from the back how to I'm coming back you see at the topi, created a guide for myself, like this guide with diagonal. Diagonal divisions down I cut by following in here on the right and lefty. I keep the hair length and without making mistakes I continue the hair length as you can see 2 hair points complemented each thurso. From the topi, a thin curtain. Shaped I set a point for myself and, with the bottom as you can see, 45 the upper part of the middle party. Cut with degrees after cutting right and left no. We're at the top guys in the hill creating a crown separation again on the hill creating. A crown separation to the ear since one ear, and he divided the top into 2 main sections so. This is on the top now so guinea by this time. I'm creating a vertical distinction after creating this vertical separation found at the bottom. I see the haircut I found, but what am I doing here? A vertical angle of 90 degrees according to the direction of hair. Scan most after scanning yourself after seeing my guide at the extreme with the sharpening cutting technique. That is, straight scissors I cut with a blow you're arresting. It's a shame for the young people to suppress those goals well. It seems to me that he can't press the young people. This 2 crown separation of the region where I create him cutting the first Stagino. How far? So many people who put it in jail. How far, baby? How far exact lies here? As a guide, always the previous hair point we cut by following friends never. Forget this away as guidey appropriately. You move forward without making any mistakes. You will have a proper haircut. Isn't he in the mood to use it? Yes, as you can see from the top upwards. Created a vertical separation from the beginning of the forehead and hair front starting from the back until you reach the staggy again at the exit. Point of the hair as you can see. I scan upwards and 90 degree. Output scanning angling from the hair point we cut before after. Seeing my guide with straight scissor stroke hair at right angles according to the direction of hair exit cut at an angle of 90 degrees and I cut it with straight scissors service size 2 after cutting the middle part. This is the right and left part equally to the hair. Points gain at 90 degree angles according to the direction of hair exit scanning direction 90 degrees 90 degrees as a right angle from the exit direction of the hair with angle. So now I'm doing a haircut. I always follow my guide the previous hair point. I cut in my guide to continue in the same guide. My cutting process I continues eyes. Exactly. There is something like this. The Kuranyas here. Ilways sharp horse cutting technique. That is, straight scissor blow, I apply it. So after the haircut is over same way, I will apply thinning to the ends of the hair as you can see here. I cut the right side. I'm going to the left now in the hair point. I wanted before slice starting from the back to the front slice. By slice oak. Okay, look at them, they say, honest eyes. The hair point I cut before after CNG praying. Can such a thing happen? I cut with face scissors, service doing something going. Now I'm creating a vertical separation VZ previous options I, comb the hair in front of the exitum. Stepping upper open and arrow eyes. Yes, just like every teacher if you go but the teacher also tells him what he wants to do after cutting the process. Now I come to the forefront guinea. The same way I'm creating a vertical separation creating a vertical scanning angle I. Continue my hair QT. They did something, for example. My mother would tell and I know it back up and the front is the same way coming upwards. I combine it with the hair point. I cut poured into the sea. But now the man was a soldier in the Second World War hit it for this. Thingak, It may be moldy thing. Can be neat wife, can be tiredys after cutting. This cutting process is over. Guys know, add texture to the hair, soften. Our aim is to ensure the transitions of haircut here, starting from the width with the E-file scissor C comb. First, with comb I. As you can see here, I use a dark comb when cutting hair light color D. My comb is dark E. Light colored combi dark comb on light hairy. In dark eye colored Hirus, light colored comet will be more advantageous for you. Here is your hair, so you can see the hair more clearly. Better in straight cuts. E can make clear cut your hair is Arabic, as you can see at the ends hearing parts with F-file scissorsto. From the bottom end parts of the hair, thinning the hair with F-file scissorsto. Be healthier in the traces of hair scissors on the hair, prevent it from happening. Soften this ends of the hair, be blocking it with net scissors, because it softens. See more hair transitions. Hair evenly distributed together prevents scissors from forming in this way. The hair is more beautiful. Now they have all taken refusing. You have short hair, too short haircut. Designixie long layered hair. QT redder shadow honey E hair. Coloring. If you want to receive services such as color change in the cops me social media, addresses in the description part of my video will. The hair cutting service by reaching my salon from Hair.AO can get. See you soon. Where did he distribute them? All over the countries. Yes, no. I apply the thinning process will be one by one on social media. These conversations after the thinning process is over. I will apply the blow dry process and finish our design starting from the neck, hair progressing step by step to the ends of the hair, and the net scissors. I'm thinning purpose of thinning hair. Uniform distribution to each other, and the transitions are more beautiful in this way. Your hair grows and grows together, not a hard imagined, a more beautiful. Imagine happens, and it makes it happen, and there are soft transitions. Don't apply any files to the bottoms of the hair. Here I only apply the net scissors to the ends of the hair. Yes, and after applying the movie stream, 2 are finishing our transaction. We also have the forming process as the last process. Our hair design by applying the blow dry process final image TOE will show you. I hope you liked my video. Thank you so much for watching till the end. I will be with you with new videos. You guys have a short haircut and other hairstyles. If you want to get service, you can reach me on social media. Instagram now. When you type Circin Kylan hairdresser from Google. From there you can easily reach my contact information. You can also reach it on WhatsApp. You can also reach it on Instagram. You can also reach it on TikTok. You can reach me on many social media platforms now. Don't forget to like my video and subscribe to my channel. I will be you with new videos. Take good care of yourself. See you soon. Hello friends. How to make a bob haircut that stretches forward to you today. I will tell you in detail. First, show the long hair of our Model 1. I cut it down. I take this long density straight and create distinctions of our model. I will create a profile distinction as the first distinction profile separation from the beginning of my forehead. Straight one, you have separated to the end of the neck. Separation, profile separation. We say, friends, after creating this distinction, the second distinction is also crown separation, also one. By ear, in the separate distinction, we have separated until the other ear. While separating this coronation, we put our comb from the beginning of the guinea forehead and the point where your back touches. We create the distinction. Here is an easy one discrimination technique. You can also apply this crown separation and my profile to divide the hair into 4 main sections. Is the technique we have applied. Very comfortable in this technique one way. You can cut the hair into pieces. After creating this distinction from the nape part, to form the basis of hair 1, we create horizontal separation. This will be our guide, so your hair is short. We will determine your height here from the nape part by creating one horizontal distinction, starting from the middle part of the hair 1. I create vertical separation and the part of the hair we will cut. Finger sharp horse cutting technique. I cut it with a straight scissor stroke. After cutting I align the left side section in the same way. Then I align the section on the right in the same way. Here's the back part. Straight one, sharp line cutting technique. I applied the cutting process. I determined the length of the hair here, and the next layer of 1 guinea horizontal one. I separate by creating a distinction. After creating this distinction, the guinea, from the middle part, I create one vertical separation starting from 1. The hair size we cut before. After seeing it from the bottom by aligning, I cut it and the bottom is the same. I cut it straight one way. Here after forming the basis of the hair. Your hair. Folding process to other parts. I will apply in the next section 1. I will create your angles. Yes, friends. Here, I separate it from forward again. Forward, our customers head forward, 1 From the bottom after applying. E1 I determine it with the hair dye I cut before, and cutting process. I'm applying it here. I'm determining the length of the hair. Clear one way. After cutting the same size. Then creating a distinction again. I will apply the folding process. I determined the length of the hair here. And light on hair. I will gain texture. Now I'm going to split it in half again. And nape guinea 1. This time by creating one horizontal distinction. Hair vertical, 45-degree angles. It gives texture to the back of the hair. The first technique we cut is to determine the length of the hair. I determined the length of the hair here. And now, as you can see, applying one angle of vertical 45 degrees, I will cut your hair first from the hair point I cut. Here, according to the exit direction of 90 hair. 130.730 1 angle. I'm lifting your hair up. I cut it, then I will create one vertical distinction. Here I see the hair spot I cut before. I'm cutting now. I'm creating one vertical distinction here, and E45 1 from the hair point I cut, creating an angle. Hair cutting continues. As you can see, I determined the hair and point, I cut it at an angle of 45 degrees. Here, we will create a slight bump on the back of the hair. So we will provide one light transition with folding process. I cut the left side. Now the right side is the same, forming 45-degree vertical, 145-degree angle. I cut the hair gradually by separating it one way. And one in the next section. In the same way with a vertical 45-degree angle by seeing the hair point we cut before. Same way. I create the angle after a 45-degree angle. Point cutting technique. I cut with cutting technique. I created a horizontal angle of 145 degrees here. I see the hair from the hair point I cut before. Here with the point cutting technique. I'm cutting then. At an angle of 45 degrees. I continue my cutting process again. Your guinea hair on the top one, seeing the hair point I cut before, at an angle of 45 degrees. With point cutting technique. With the point cutting technique, I continue my cutting process.